Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about an Atlanta Hawks basketball play that you can run with your basketball team that will get you tons of points. So hello everyone, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training. On this channel I show you basketball plays, drills, and skills. So if you like that stuff, hit that like button and subscribe. But anyways, today I'm going to talk to you about a play that I've seen and I just had to break it down for you. But basically, if you don't remember from way back, if you're one of the newer subscribers, I used to post a ton of NBA play breakdowns. So that's what I'm doing today, and it's about the Atlanta Hawks. It's the 4-out, 1-in DHO stagger basketball play. Basically, it's got a stagger screen plus a dribble handoff. That's what DHO stands for, is dribble handoff. Stagger is a staggered screen where you're wanting the defense to have to really move around the players. So let's get down to the clipboard. I'm going to show you this play as it is, and then I'm going to show you the video of the Atlanta Hawks running the offense, and then I'm going to run it against different defenses to see how it works, if it's only going to work against a man-to-man, or if it's also going to work against zone defenses. So let's get down to the clipboard and let's check out this basketball play. Okay, so first in this basketball play, we are going to have a pass down to player 5. Player 1 is then going to go and run over to around the elbow. Player 3 is going to set an actual screen on player 4. And what's going to happen, this is a staggered screen where now this defender has to try and navigate through those two players to continue with player 4. So player 4 is going to use that staggered screen. Player 5 and player 2 are going to do a dribble handoff, so that now player 2, he has the option to shoot the ball. He has the option to pass to player 4 for the three-point shot unless player 4 is curling towards the basket. But I wouldn't suggest that. I've seen that happen once or twice. But in this one, you want him to stick out on the three-point line because player 5 is going to be rolling towards the basket. And that's our third option in this play. So let's check out this basketball play in real life, and then we'll be setting it up against some different defenses. First, I'm going to show you it against a man-to-man defense, which is what most of the time the NBA runs. They do run zones, believe it or not, and I should make a video about how they run a zone. I will do that later, another day, maybe next. I'll see. But anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think about that video coming up about NBA zone defenses. But let's go and see this video. Okay, so in this man-to-man defense, we're going to have player 1 pass down to player 5. Player 1 is then going to head over to this side. Player 3 is going to be setting a screen for player 4. And player 5 and player 2 are going to come together for the dribble handoff. Now player 4 is also going to be using that staggered screen. So now that may be an option depending on how player 4 red gets stuck on these screens. And then player 5 will be rolling towards the basket. Now this is a very good option, especially if player 1 doesn't want to play help defense. Also, if player 5 switched, well, now player 5 blue has that whole side to operate. And if they didn't switch and player 5 is rolling, well, he's most likely going to be in front of player 5 anyways. And, well, that could be a lob in for player 5 for the layup, or in some cases, a dunk. Now let's go over and check this out against a 2-3 zone defense. Okay, so against the 2-3 zone defense, most likely what we are going to be seeing here is player 1 right up on player 1 blue. Player 2 is probably going to be playing the passing lanes, and we will probably be seeing player 4 playing a bit deeper, player 5 playing a bit higher to guard player 5 blue in the high post, and player 3 is probably going to be playing a bit in so that player 4 doesn't cut down, or player 3 either. So he's probably going to be playing along the side of the key, especially if he's a really good defender. Now player 1 is going to then pass to player 5. Player 4 is then going to head down over here. Player 1 is going to head down over here, but at this point, you're not seeing too much because player 1 red is just going to pop down. This is going to be a double team on player 5. And what we will have here is now player 5 again dribble handoff with player 2. And what we will be seeing here is now 3 defenders operating in this corner. Now, if player 5 was to roll towards the basket, he probably will be stopped by player 5, so that's not going to be a very good option. Player 3 is probably going to be covered somewhat by player 2, but the nice option here is if player 3 is able to get that basketball, we can have player 4 and player 1 along the perimeter. Because of what we have been doing over here, this has brought and collapsed the defense over mostly to this side of the court, which means that now these 2 players are open. So this play still does work against a 2-3 zone. However, there are a few differences that make this work differently because we have collapsed the defense towards this side of the court. We can have multiple different shot options here. If player 1 was to get that ball, player 3 red might be trying to pop out, same as player 2. And at that point, if player 1 is not able to get that shot off, we now have the option for player 4 in the corner for a 3, or he may be cutting towards the basket, which now leaves player 4 able to go in for a layup unless player 5 stops him, in which case then he can pass over to player 5. So there's a few different options that can happen on this side of the court still out of this play. Now against a 3-2 zone defense, most likely because the 3-2 zone defense works like this, player 1 is in both of their bubbles. They're probably going to be collapsing together on player 1. Player 1 is going to pass to player 5. And at this time, we can have player 3 setting a screen down on player 4 red, player 1 setting a screen on player 3 red, because the defense is going to be brought in on player 5 blue. Now the benefit here, against a 3-2 zone defense, the baseline is always super weak. The 3-2 zone defense guards really well here, but not very well here. So the reason why this is going to work super well is because player 2 is on this side of player 5. So player 5 could just easily drive and take a floater unless player 5 stops him. But at that time, player 2 could just cut baseline, and that would be an easy layup. But going along with the play, how there's a dribble handoff up here, let's say player 5 dribbles with his left hand up to the top, and we're going to have then player 2 doing a dribble handoff, and player 2 has that ball. Well, player 4 is an option up top possibly for a 3-point shot, but what we should really be focusing on is having player 5 roll towards the basket. He would be open, or hopefully open, for a layup. However, I stress with this play, with player 5 having that ball in the post, that's going to collapse on the high post. That's collapsing 3 players on him because of the zone. And because of this, we can have player 2 cut baseline. He may be open, or player 5 could just pass to player 2 out on that wing for a mid-range or 3-point shot, and everything would be totally fine because now we have 3 rebounders on this side and player 5 on this side. Offensively, we would be set. So this play does work again against a 3-2 zone defense, but there are a few differences that still happen against that zone. This play is made for a man-to-man defense, but yes, again, it does work against the zone, just in different aspects. So like I was mentioning, against a 3-2 zone defense, if you don't already know, the baseline is always super wide open. So if you can get the ball into the high post and you can have players cutting baseline, you're definitely going to be killing the other team. That's why I personally barely ever run the 3-2 zone in basketball as a coach, but many coaches do run it, so definitely look out for that and destroy them. Anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe. If you have liked the Atlanta Hawks play today, definitely let me know in the comments below. I might just start posting these again if people really like them. There are a few instances where some of the videos went, well, in my case, viral, which means that they get a few thousand views. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another daily basketball video. If I haven't said already, up in this corner is the subscribe button. Up in this corner is the suggested video by YouTube. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.